So Jack's been there since the beginning of Achievement Hunter, but you may have noticed that he's in much less content than before, like way less. Why is that? Well, I'm gonna break down why. Spoiler, it's nothing bad. It's actually all really good stuff. Jack's doing great, and I kinda just wanted an excuse to make a video about it. One of the biggest reasons Jack wasn't showing up in the past couple months is because he was working super hard on organizing AH Live, which organizing a tour like that isn't easy. And add on to that the pandemic and health precautions, and the fact that it got delayed by 2 years. So that's a lot of work, which Jack was doing mostly from home. Achievement Hunter Live was actually led by Jack and Adam Baird, Jack being the creative lead coming up with the ideas, and Adam Baird being the technical lead, making it all come together on stage. But Achievement Hunter Live isn't the only thing Jack's been doing, because Jack's also been running marathons. For those of you who have been fans for a long time, you'll know that Jack had an identity around being unhealthy, so the fact that he's running marathons is pretty awesome. Jack trained since the summer of 2021 for the Disney Marathon in the beginning of 2022, which you can see in the pictures here. Oh my god, I love these so much. And due to the unbearable heat of Texas, Jack's been waking up super early to run in the mornings, which, as a side note, may sound horrible for some of you, but it's actually the best time to go for a jog. There are no people, no cars, it's super peaceful, and it's also nice and cool so you don't sweat as much. But I just want to highlight how big this is for Jack, because like I mentioned before, there were a lot of jokes, a lot of them coming from himself, about him being super unhealthy. Like for example, remember when Jack was known as the fast food and no vegetables guy?
I'm a little winded, but I'm good. I'm fat, so.
Well now, he's Jack the swole marathon guy. Isn't it so nice seeing both Jeff and Jack like this? Like they both had identities and jokes built around unhealthy habits, but now they're both super healthy and they're exercising and stuff. It's just really nice. But on the topic of Jack and Jeff, they had their own podcast. During quarantine, Jack and Jeff had cute little coffee dates so that they could keep up and not lose their minds. And here, Jeff brought up the idea of Jack doing his own podcast to give him a project to focus his passions into. So Jeff asked for his ideas, and Jack said theme parks. And so they started the podcast Annual Pass, where Jack and Jeff talk about the history, facts, and experiences of theme park rides. Which, I say Jack and Jeff talk about theme parks, it's more like Jack talks at Jeff about theme parks. I cannot recommend this podcast enough. The trivia and the history of the theme parks are interesting, but it's also just nice to listen to. Like, it's not the chaos of Off Topic, or the arguments of the Rooster Teeth podcast, or whatever the fuck Bleep Face is. It's nice. It's really nice. Like, if I had to describe Annual Pass in one word, I would say it's comforting, because the entire podcast is Jack talking passionately about the theme parks he loves, and Jeff just being happy that Jack's happy. But even if I don't care about the ride, I still listen just because it's nice to hear Team OG again, so I cannot recommend Annual Pass enough, especially if you're missing Jeff and Jack. And finally, while Jack is returning to content more, he said his appearances on camera will be changing a little bit, because Jack said he's been doing content creation for a very long time, so he took a break to have a mental refresh and to take some time for himself, doing things like the marathons while also working on stuff like AH Live, and Jack even said he'd come back with a vengeance. However, he also said that since he's been doing this for a while, he also wants to take a step back and give the newer cast members like Kai, Joe, and BK a chance to show their stuff while he works on more background things. So TLDR, Jack's doing good, Achievement Hunter Live, marathons, Annual Pass, and giving the new people a chance to shine. And I know it sucks, certain people not showing up in content that much anymore. Jeff moving to a different position, Ray passing away, and now Jack. But he just seems way happier and healthier now. So good on you, Jack. I'm really happy that you're happy. And as long as you're making content, we're always going to be there to watch.